Silly comment.
Sabbath peace. It's another opportunity for us to hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if we do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that we do not believe. In this state, we should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that we do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that we may have, it can and it will be used against us in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. All right? All right, let's check it out. Let's see, Shanice, where you want to start? I just need a book. New Testament. All right, Timothy. Tasha, I just need a number.
5.
All right. Somebody give me a 1 or a 2.
Oh, 1.
2? Okay. So we got 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy don't go to 5.
No.
What it go to 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 Timothy go to 5, but 2 Timothy, what it do?
Let's go to 2.
3 or 4? It probably go to 4 at first, go to 5. 4. So what do you say, 2? So this 2 Timothy chapter 2, give me verse 5. Don't worry, baby, I got you.
No, you trying to do everything.
I'm not trying to do it. It's 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. Control your suspect. Hey, y'all be quiet down there.
2 Timothy 2:5.
It's 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. What does the book say?
And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
So if a man strive for a prize, you know what I'm saying? You talking about mastery, that means you being crowned at the top one, right? You number one. So if I strive, if I'm fighting, I'm trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be named number one, but I don't do it lawfully. I don't play according to the rules. What happened? Go back downstairs. Y'all be quiet.
Yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
He said the only way you gonna get the crown is if you follow the rules, right? That's the only way you get it is if you follow the rules. Let's hear about it.
Zakai, stop.
The husbandmen that labor.
What's a husbandman?
Somebody to take care of the field.
All right, somebody who take care of, they got like a vineyard or something, right? Grow my grapes, right? Grow my materials, make my olives. You know what I'm talking about? That's a husbandman, right? Hey! I said be quiet. Take your butts downstairs and be quiet. You hear the word being preached? Boy, what's wrong with you? Excuse me. Let's see what it says.
The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things. Remember that Yahushua, the Messiah of the seed of David, was raised from the dead according to my gospel.
That's right.
Wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer.
You see how he take possession of that thing? Imagine somebody doing that today. Imagine a preacher in front of the darn church. Comes out, oh, well, you got to be saved according to my gospel. What are we going to think about the man? It's my gospel. What they going to say about the man? He good Christian. What they going to say about him?
Jesus.
You know they gonna say it, right? We look at it, it's like we have to reshape what we think, right? Because we have to be able to apply the way that people think now to these guys that we're reading about in the book. And by doing that, we have to say it makes sense that people rejected them, right? Because they look at it and be like, man, what are they talking about, man? I serve the Most High God. You talking about it's your gospel? Let's see, keep going. There's a reason why he did it, though. Why would he want to single out my gospel?
He was giving it to the Gentiles,
right?
And he was tasked by Yahushua himself to do this thing.
Okay, but why else might he want to say my gospel?
He said if anybody preach another Yahushua other than what I told you, let him be cursed. So you got to be specific to what Paul was talking about.
Right? The reason is there's a lot of people out there lying. And he got hit direct. Right? Man, tell you, ain't nobody taught me this. He said, I saw the Most High. I saw Yahushua. My eyes was open. He already knew the book. Man already knew the book. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Man already knew the book. Didn't see Yahushua though. A lot of people don't even get, man, grab
Philippians.
Galatians chapter 2. Give me Galatians chapter 2. Give me verse 5. Let's just talk a little bit. Galatians chapter 2, verse 5. Zahar, I just need some water. Appreciate you, son. This Galatians chapter. We just gonna talk a little bit because there's some stuff. People don't be seeing some of this stuff. Man already knew the book. Before we get Galatians chapter 2, verse 5, give me Philippians. Help me out, I don't know where it's at. Philippians chapter 2, maybe 11. If I get that, that's a long darn shot. That's like half court. You know what I'm talking about? I just threw that thing. Buzzer was on. I just threw that thing up.
2:11.
I don't think that's it.
All right, you know what I'm saying? It's right, it ain't it. If it was it, I feel, you know what I'm saying? That thing go right to my head. I'd be like, I told you guys I was the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? I'd be out here, my gospel. You know what I'm saying? That thing was it. That thing would have been too much for me. I'd have about fell out. I'm looking for, you know what I'm looking for, right?
When he was like,
Who we learned at the feet of?
Yeah, Hebrews, right? He was like, are they Hebrews or am I? He's like,
If that's there, yeah. But what I'm really looking for is I learned at the feet of Gamaliel.
That's the same one.
I think it is, but maybe it ain't. That might be Acts 2.
No,
Daniel, if you don't mind, Google that for me.
I think it's in Philippians.
Paul learning at the feet of Gamaliel.
Okay.
I think it's spelled G-A-M. Probably G-A-M. Maybe I. G-A-M, maybe I-E-L. Something like that. It's been a while. I haven't read it in a while. Cause it's a few places that Paul gets to talking like that, letting them know, you know what I'm saying, letting them know where he's from. But I don't know. But while we waiting on that, grab Galatians chapter 2. Give me verse 5, and then Daniel will find the other piece of it for us. It's Galatians chapter 2, verse 5. It's Acts. Yeah, I kind of felt like it might have been.
Which
Acts.
one is
it's
the
probably
one
Acts what,
Philippians
27?
Acts 22.
22. I ain't that far.
Which one is the one in Philippians did?
That's probably the Hebrews, but
touching the law of blameless.
yeah. Grab go ahead and go to Acts first. Let's do Acts chapter 22, verse what?
3.
Verse 3, that's what I want.
No, you can do one.
Alright, it's Acts chapter 22, verse 1. What's the book say?
Men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense.
And after that, we're going right to Galatians. Right after that, we're going right to Galatians, real quick. Right to Galatians chapter 2, verse 5. Right, but watch this. Man already knew the book. Watch this.
Which I make unto you. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept the more silence.
Right? He was talking to Hebrews. When they heard that he spoke to them in the Hebrew tongue, he kept them more silent. You listen to these darn Christians. You know what language they going to tell you that Yahushua spoke? Talking about some darn Meg. Well, actually, he spoke. They just too darn smart for their own darn good. Actually, he spoke Aramaic. The book said he spoke Hebrew. Paul spoke to him in the Hebrew tongue. And after that, all the people remained silent. When you had, when there was King of Jews, right? King of Judah, right? Was written 3 times. In 3 different languages on top of the cross. What languages were they?
Latin, Hebrew, and I forget the other one.
Was it
Greek?
Greek, yeah. Okay.
Where was Aramaic? But these white folks love repeating that actually the language at the time would have been Aramaic. Like, stop all that. I don't know where these people get it from. I digress. Let's just keep on going. What were we talking about? In Acts chapter 22, it's probably about verse what, 2? This is verse 3. Watch the book say.
I am verily a man which am a Jew born.
He said, I am verily a man. In other words, you know what? I'm trying to tell you, I'm the man. Born of what?
Born a Jew born in Tarshish, a city in Cilicia.
Mm-hmm.
Yet brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel.
He said, I was brought up in this city at the feet of who?
Gamaliel.
At the feet of who?
Gamaliel. And taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous toward God, as ye all are this day.
Daniel, I need your help again. Just search Gamaliel for me. Gamaliel. It's going to be another place in Acts that his name is mentioned. If you search Gamaliel, keep going. You search Gamaliel. I want people to know who Gamaliel is.
It's chapter 6 or 5.
Yeah, somewhere early.
Yeah.
He said he had brought up, read that one more time for him. He had brought up at the feet of who?
Gamaliel.
And taught what?
And taught according to the perfect manner of the law.
The perfect manner of the law. The man knew the book already. And I'm about to show you, he wasn't dealing with no slouch. When Gamaliel spoke, everybody was like, all right. They wanted to get the boy. Gamaliel spoke. He was like, listen. Boy, we get it. Where's that? You haven't found it yet? It's all right. Keep looking. Keep reading.
5, final answer.
Acts 5.
Boom.
Good job.
I don't know what verse though.
All right. He'll find it for
Yeah, Acts 5, verse 34.
Okay.
Zealous toward God, and I was zealous. Touching the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous toward God, as ye all are this day.
Right?
And I persecuted this way unto the death, binding and delivering into prisons both men and women.
Right? So he knew the law. Right? He knew it, the perfect manner of the law at the feet of Gamaliel. Right? Okay. Go to Acts chapter 5, verse what? 30 what?
34.
It's Acts chapter 5, verse 34. Then after that, we got to go right over to Galatians. Right? Real quick. Real quick, because we ain't even supposed to be talking about this. We're supposed to be talking about something else. But it's important that we understand what we're talking about. The man said, oh my goodness. It's important that we know. A lot of people don't even understand what's happening. Watch this.
Then stood there up.
This is Acts chapter 5, verse 34.
Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel.
A Pharisee named Gamaliel. Watch this.
A doctor of law.
That boy was a doctor of the darn law. You know how somebody go to school? How long they go to school? Probably 8-10 years.
About 10 years ago, doctor.
Right? And then you got to get what's called a doctorate. You know what the word doctor means? We think kind of medical when we say doctor. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, you might have heard somebody say, that's a doctor. He's like, well, is he a medic? Like, you know what I'm saying? Does he, like, give people medicine? Like, no, not that type. My mom told my mom, not that type of doctor. It's a doctor that means that he's an expert in his field, is what my mama taught me, right? You know what the actual word doctor means? Teacher.
Teacher, right?
Teacher, right? You look at the word doctor, that means teacher. So when it says he's a doctor, it's talking about he's a teacher. So the reason why they call these people doctors, like you see pastors who have a high degree, they'll be a doctor, or sometimes philosophers, or you might have a psychologist. You know, so they'll call them doctor. Not because they're related to the medical field at all. It's because when you have that degree of knowledge, in order to get your doctorate, you have to prove that you can teach what you know, right? So you have your bachelor's degree, you have your associate's degree, then your bachelor's degree, then you have your master's degree. Then after that, you have your okay, I mastered it. Great, you mastered it. Okay, but can you teach it? So that's when they give you a doctor's degree, right? Part of your doctor's degree is you got to give what's called a dissertation, right? So you got to be able to stand up in front of all these people on a specific subject that you choose, and essentially you are teaching that to the group of people. And after doing that, that's when you actually are granting your doctorate, right? It's all about teaching. So now, we look at this. The man was top of the game, a doctor of the law. I mean, when it came to the law, boy, I teach that thing. What's wrong with you? Watch this.
Had a reputation among all the people.
And he had a reputation among all the people. I mean, everybody respected the man. Watch this.
And he commanded to put the apostles forth a little space.
Right? Just to give some context, because we just started right at this, to give some context, the apostles was wilding out in their minds. The Pharisees wanted to kill their butt. But Gamaliel stood up. That boy got a reputation with all the people. And he a doctor of the darn law. Watch what the man say. They want to kill these apostles right now. But watch this.
And he said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men.
He said, y'all better pay attention to what y'all doing when it comes to touching these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to do some stuff. Y'all might want to pay attention to your actions. When he say take heed to yourself, what he's saying is pay attention to what you're doing now. Watch it.
For before these days rose up Theudas.
Right? He said, because in the past, it was a guy named Theudas. What's his name? Theudas. Right? And what did he do?
Boasting himself to be somebody.
He is telling everybody, oh, I'm the man. But what happened to him?
To whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves.
400 people joined in, and they thought he was the man too. And then what happened?
Who was slain.
All of them got killed.
And all as many obeyed him were scattered and brought to nothing.
What else happened?
After this man rose up Judah of Galilee in the days of the taxing.
He's like, y'all remember Judah of Galilee, right? Remember when they were trying to tax us? Judah of Galilee, he popped up. What happened?
And drew away much people after him.
And a whole bunch of people started following his butt.
He also perished.
His butt died too.
And all, even as many obeyed him, were dispersed.
And
now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone.
He said, these men, you might want to leave them alone. Why, Gamaliel?
For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to nothing.
He said, because just like these last two groups of people who made all this noise, stirred up a whole bunch of people, they but died, and everybody dispersed, right? It just let it fizzle out. He said, just let it fizzle out. But
if it be of God, you
he
cannot
said, but if it be of God, what happened?
You cannot overthrow it. Lest happily you be found even to fight against God.
You trying to tell me this ain't a wise man? What do you think he looked at to come up with this idea? He gave two examples, right? Two examples. In both of those examples, the man leading the ship died. And then what happened to the followers?
Scattered.
In this example, who would be leading the ship?
Well, it would be the apostles.
No.
Well, Yahushua. But
Yahushua would be leading the ship. And Yahushua died.
And they still going.
But his apostles still going. So when he saw that, he was looking like, maybe we should relax. You know what I'm talking about?
This was a little different.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should relax. Maybe make it a little sense. Maybe, I understand y'all frustrations, but just like the other times, let it fizzle out if it's gonna fizzle out. It's a man of wisdom who taught him the law. It's not one of these idiots. He's not one of these boys who just think a lot of themselves. This man had wisdom, and they respected the man, right? So that's who Paul was taught by. He knew the law already. He had the law in his mind. He didn't know Yahushua. He never saw Yahushua in the law. But he knew the text of the law. He knew what that thing said. Front to back, he felt it. He was raised at the feet of this man. This is Galatians chapter 2. Give me verse 5.
To whom we gave place by subjection, no, not for an hour, that the truth of the gospel might continue with you. But of these who seem to be somewhat, whatsoever they were, it makes no matter to me. God accepts no man's person. For they who seem to be somewhat in conference added nothing to me. But contrawise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto me, as the gospel of the circumcision was unto Peter, for he that was wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of the circumcision, the same was mighty in me towards the Gentiles. And when James, Cephas, and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given unto me, they gave.
Give me verse 1.
And 14 years after, I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas and took Titus.
Give me chapter 1. What's the last verse?
24.
Give me chapter 1 verse. What I want? Give me chapter 1 verse 11 is what I want?
But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man.
Yeah, that's it. 11. I didn't know it that far back. This is Galatians chapter 1 verse 11. It's Galatians chapter 1 verse 11. Watch what the book say. Hey, y'all be quiet.
But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached to me is not after man. For I neither received it which was preached of me is not after man. For I neither received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Yahushua the Messiah.
So he told him straight up. This is what a man can say, this is my gospel. Right? One, I need y'all to understand what these other guys is talking about is not what I'm telling you. This is my gospel, right? And then two, these guys didn't teach this to me. Like when we get the gospel, where we get it from? Paul. Right? Peter. Yahushua himself. Right? When he got the gospel, Yahushua himself didn't drop down and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to explain. That didn't happen. He's trying to tell you, I didn't get this. He said, I only got it by revelation. I didn't get this by man. Nor did anybody teach this to me. Watch this. Keep going. Hold on. Y'all listen now. Why do I have to keep telling y'all to be quiet? Y'all make noise again. Everybody coming in here, y'all can sit here and learn the word too. All right.
For ye have heard of my conversation in time past in the Jews' religion, how that beyond measure I persecuted the church of God and wasted it, and profited in the Jews' religion above many my equals in my own nation, being more exceedingly zealous for the traditions of my fathers.
Right? He strived for mastery, just like we was reading in Timothy. Right? Keep going.
But when it pleased God, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me by his grace, to reveal his son in me, that I might preach him among the heathen, immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood. He
said, so when it pleased God to reveal himself to me, he said, immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood. So in other words, when Yahushua showed up to him and it was revealed to him, he didn't go run to Peter and like, yo, Peter, what you were saying was true. Tell me everything you know. Watch what he did.
Neither went I up to Jerusalem to them which were apostles before me, but I went to Arabia and returned again to Damascus. Then after 3 years I went up to Jerusalem to see Peter and abode with him 15 days. But other of the apostles saw I none, except James, the Lord's brother. Now the things which I write unto you, behold, before God I lie not. Afterwards I came into the regions of Syria and Cilicia, and was unknown by face unto the churches of Judah, congregations of Judah, which were in the Messiah, but they had heard only that he which persecuted us in times past now preached the faith which once he destroyed.
Right? So all the people knew is this same guy that used to try to get us killed and put us in jail for believing in Yahushua, this same guy is now the one preaching the faith. That's all the people knew of him. Because he didn't go to them and try to conversate with them. Converse with them. He didn't go with them and try to get anything from them. He didn't go to none of that. The man knew the book. Like, do you know how powerful that is? I knew the book, right? The only thing that's missing is I don't believe Yahushua, right? But I know the text, right? Yahushua show up to me. Whole book makes sense now. Like, you know how powerful that is? Like, I know the text. Like, I got it down. I know what this thing say. And I think I'm right. Dead wrong about it. Right? All it took was for the man to show up in front of me. As soon as that happened, it clicked in my head, oh, he's real. Then you start reanalyzing all the text in your head. Oh, that's what that. Oh, wait, hold on. So if that means, but, oh, that's talking about this. Oh, this talking about that. Give me Luke chapter 24. Now we're about to do a little talking. Give me Luke chapter 24. Give me Luke chapter 24. What I want, verse 11 or 15. Probably neither one of them.
That's what a lot of some of the Hebrews need.
This is Luke chapter 24. Most High God ain't going to give it to him either. I ain't going to say he ain't. But he likely won't. You can't taunt God like that. Most High God, he give it to who he want to give to. You can't say, I ain't going to believe in less. Boy, you ain't Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Boy, light your butt up.
Yeah, at that time, you know what I'm saying? The Most High God was like, all right, y'all am doing something pretty new right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I give it to you. He gave it to, people don't get it. He gave it to Thomas just for our sake.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get a line off. That's how the Most High God do it. He was like, man, I got to get this line off real quick. He like, all right, let me use Thomas to do it. All he wanted to tell us was, oh, believe because you see. Right? How much more for those that believe and they don't see? Now, he just wanted to drop that bar real quick. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me just get that. I'll let Thomas get a little bit. Just because, you know what I'm saying? Let me just drop that bar for the, because that's for our sake. We supposed to be able to read that and be like, dang. You know what I mean? Like, ooh. That thing, I remember when I read that thing hit me. I was a Christian back then too. That thing hit me. I was like, ooh, goodness. You know what I'm talking about? That's how I hit though. Let's see, keep going. What we got?
You want the end of it?
What was I looking for?
Luke.
Yeah, let me get Luke. You know what I want, right?
27.
When they start talking.
You want
When he started walking with them.
17.
17. It's Luke chapter 24, verse 17. Watch this.
15.
It's Luke chapter 24, verse 15. Watch what the book say. I said 15 too. Didn't I say it? I said 11 or 15, didn't I?
Probably did.
That's the Lord.
And it came to pass that while they communed together and reasoned, Yahushua himself drew near
Watch this.
and went with them.
Watch
Their-
this.
Their eyes were holden that they should not know him.
They didn't know it was Yahushua.
And he said unto them,
Look, for context, just so y'all know, the man died. He is in the tomb for 3 days, 3 nights. The man rose, showed himself to the women, and then after that, they didn't see him. Women told the men, and then Yahushua pop up to some of the men, right? But he hid himself from them, right? So they don't know who they're dealing with right now. So the man is already resurrected at this point. Watch this.
and he said unto them, what manner of communications are these that you have one to another as you walk and are sad?
Mm-hmm. So Yahushua asked me, like, why y'all walking around sad? Why y'all talking all sad to each other? Right? What manner of communication? In other words, what type of talk y'all having together walking around all sad? Watch this.
And one of them whose name was Cleopas answering said unto him, are you a stranger in Jerusalem and has not known the things which are come to pass there in these days?
Right? The man said, what is you, a stranger? You ain't from around here, boy? He talking to the man. He don't even know he talking to the man. He like, boy, what you ain't from around here? You don't know about the stuff that been happening around here? Watch this.
And he said unto them, what things? And they said unto him, concerning Yahushua of Nazareth, which was a prophet, mighty indeed, in word before God and all the people.
Uh-huh.
And how the chief priests and the rulers delivered him to be condemned to death and have crucified him.
Uh-huh.
But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Israel. And besides all this, today is the third day.
Today is the what day?
Third day.
I got that. It looking like, man, probably he told us it was going to be 3 days. He's like, but today is the third day. He's like, you ain't heard about this? They put the man to death. He is the man. We thought he was the Messiah. They killed the man. And on top of all that, today is the third day. Watch this. They talking to the man.
Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. And when they found not his body, they came saying that they had also seen a vision of angels, which said that he was alive.
Mm-hmm.
A certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it even so as the women had said.
He said they went to the sepulchre, right? And the sepulchre, what's the sepulchre?
The tomb.
That's the tomb, right? So they went to the tomb, and it's like, they found it just like the women described it. So they sad. They're like, we ain't even got the man's body no more. And today is the third day, right? All right, they talking to the man right now. They don't even realize it. Watch this.
But him they saw not.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said unto them, O fools and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken.
He called them fools, right to their darn face. They still think he a stranger though. He said, oh, fools and slow of heart to believe what?
All that the prophets have spoken.
To believe all that the prophets have spoken. What happened?
Ought not the Messiah had to suffer these things and to enter into his glory?
Mm-hmm.
And at beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself.
Beginning at what?
Moses.
And then what?
And all the prophets.
He tried to teach them the scriptures. And he tried to show himself. He said he expounded on all things.
He expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself.
Concerning him. So he started going through the scriptures, showing himself in the scriptures. Understand that what Paul experienced, Paul knew the scriptures already. So Paul did this for himself. All Yahushua had to do is say, no. I'm the one, like I'm real. He showed himself to him in a way that made Paul know, oh, this is legit. So then Paul scanned his brain of all the scriptures that he learned all these years, and he started looking like, oh, that's him. Oh, that's the man. Oh, that come back to that. And do y'all understand and appreciate that the man didn't have to talk to nobody, and the man write the most books out of all this thing? And why? What's the foundation of it? He knew the scriptures. That's all. He was dead wrong about them, but the man knew them. He knew the law. He knew the prophets. He knew the testimony. He knew the Psalms. The man knew it. He knew the history. You know it, and then all of a sudden, all you need is one thing to click, and it all come together. These boys now try to tell y'all that they know the scriptures. They try to tell y'all that they know the law. Only thing they darn know is dietary and feast days. They call it, if anybody walk up to you talking about some dietary law, all you do just close your eyes, close your mouth, just turn away. Just like that. Just like that. Turn away. Don't make it, don't have no conversation with them. There's no such thing as a darn dietary. As soon as you talk to me about a dietary law, I ain't talking, you don't know no darn law. You ain't never heard nobody say a dietary law in the book. It's one law.
You try to break up the whole law
It's
into sections.
They worked in the Christian, because that's how the Christian do it. Well, see, it's really about keeping the moral law. What the heck is the moral law? Who decided which piece of the law is moral and the other piece? So that's just that's the ceremonial law, and then it's the moral law. If you don't share, the whole book is moral. If the man tell you don't do it, it become moral. It's wrong if you don't. What's moral?
Going right or wrong.
Okay, so if the man tell you don't do it, I don't care. The man say light a darn candle, and you don't do it. That then becomes what?
Transgression of the law.
That's immoral. That got that. I'm trying to figure out how you gonna decide. How we gonna look at the whole law and decide? I want this part to be ceremonial. I want this part to be dietary. No, he got to split up the book. When he split it up for it, that's when it's split. If he don't split it up for it, man, you doing too much. Sit your butt down.
Right. I don't think that the Hebrews in those days, when they did something, they would say, I broke the dietary law.
Yeah, like, oh, no, it's just the dietary law. It ain't a big deal. You know what I'm talking about? No, it's the law. You broke the law. The man told you, and you had, at any point, if you break it, you had something that you had to come back for. Except the dietary law. People make a fool out of their darn self. Right? We look at these things, man, it's our law. Like, we have to be we can't fall into all this weird stuff, these weird ways these people be talking. You talking to me, Chris? That's just the Mosaic and that's the Abrahamic. If they put an IC at the end of one of these darn names or words, just turn away from their butt. Don't talk to these people. When they get to doing all this little fancy stuff, trying to make themselves sound, these people don't know the book. They don't know what they're talking about. They run in their darn mouth. They make you feel like they know the book. They may even specialize in one area, but they don't know the volume of the book. They haven't paid attention, and they definitely don't see Yahushua in it. You got to be able to see the man in it. These people make a fool out of us. And then some people who know the book, they know it, right? They know the book and dead wrong about it. Yep. But at least they know the book. Paul was in that same position. First step, know the book. Second step, well, first and second step are together. Know the book, whatever you do know, obey it. That'll increase your knowledge. Eventually, you'll get to a place where he'll perfect your knowledge, period. There's no other way around it, right? We look at the examples. People who kept our feasts, they were in areas and in places where they could see miracles happen, right? When we look at Acts 2, they were keeping the Feast of Weeks. And according to our law, everybody had to travel where? Jerusalem. And then they went to Jerusalem, this random Jerusalem to them, and it just so happens that what happens?
The Spirit fell.
they got to see the Spirit in action. First time that anybody got to see it. They got to see it in action. And that just came from them keeping the law. People kept the law for hundreds of years before that. Not so many hundreds of years after that, but hundreds of years before that for sure. And nobody ever saw that moment. But that one time, it happened. And everybody who kept the law at that point had an opportunity to see it. It's going to be the same way for us. We keep the law, it's going to direct our path to where the Most High God wants us to be. Right? You keep the law, you're going to be great in the kingdom. That got that. Right? You do what Yahushua say, you're going to make it into the kingdom. On top of that, if you keep the law, you're going to be great in the kingdom. That's all we're looking for. You learn the law, man, that give you some wisdom that none of these people ever going to have. These people never going to have it. 2 Timothy, let's try to finish that out. I know that's where we started. It's 2 Timothy. Where did we leave off?
Verse 2, verse 8.
It's 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8. Then we gotta get over and see where we left off last week. This is
We're gonna have a B selection from the choir.
It's 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8.
Remember that Yahushua, the Messiah of the seed of David, was raised from the dead according to my gospel. Wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even under bonds, but the word of God is not bound. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in the Messiah Yahushua with eternal glory. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
Watch it.
If we believe not, yet he abides faithful. He cannot deny himself.
That got that. Right? If we believe not, right? If we don't have faith, guess what? The man's faithful. So guess what? He can't deny himself. That means your butt still got to get it. Right? Read that part again. I love that thing. I feel like Christians read that thing just like, oh, look how beautiful. They don't even realize what that thing's saying to them. Watch this. Read that thing again for me.
For if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him.
He said, if we be dead with Yahushua, when that man come back, we going to live with Yahushua. Right? So if we baptize ourselves into his death, then we're going to be resurrected with his resurrection. Right? That's what he tells us. Right? We're going to be resurrected at the end as long as we dedicate ourselves the way that he dedicated himself. Okay, makes sense.
If we suffer, we shall also reign with him.
Right? If we suffer in this world, right, for his sake, then we will also reign with the man. Right? Makes sense. Let's see.
If we deny him, he also will deny us.
Okay, but if we deny him, right? So that's the opposite of the two things we just looked at before. If we deny him, be like, nah, I ain't messing with him. Guess what he gonna do to us? He gonna deny us. Makes sense. Watch this. This last one though, it's the one.
If we believe not, yet he abides faithful. He cannot deny himself.
If we don't believe in him, right? You would think that it's gonna say, well, he ain't gonna believe in you. Nah. Book say, well, the man's still gonna believe. You know what I'm saying? The man is faithful. He cannot deny himself. Right? So what people miss is, what does it mean when they say he gonna be faithful? Most High God gives two sides to just about everything we look in the book, right? He say, if you obey me, you'll get what?
Blessed.
If you disobey,
Blessed.
so that means no matter what you do, guess what? God gotta remain.
Faithful. Yep. You keep his promise, good or bad.
You gonna get one of these. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be faithful to one of these. Right? You deny me, I'm still gonna be faithful because I'm not gonna deny myself. I'm not gonna deny myself whooping your darn butt, or I'm not gonna deny myself with blessing. Period. Right? I love that thing. What else we got right there?
Of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord, that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers.
Oh, well, I told y'all, man, don't be out here trying to argue with these people. Stuff don't make no sense. All right, don't be killing a whole bunch of time trying to argue, trying to prove you know the book more than these people and all this that stuff don't mean nothing. I don't know what's wrong with people. They feel like I be talking now. You know what I'm saying? I'm matured a lot because I be talking now to these people, and they be this what I feel like they honestly believe it. I feel like they honestly believe if I don't explain something to them, if I don't like break it down for them, that what I'm saying is a lie. They think because I don't take the time to explain what I mean to them, that it's a lie. And they cool with that. I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? All right, take your chances then. Cause this thing just as true as it's always been. I can break it down to you too. But just because I choose not to, don't mean what I'm saying is a lie. Like we gotta be smarter than that. We gotta be like, okay, that was said, and I either want to look into it or I don't want to look into it. But don't ever let yourself just write something off just because the other person ain't working as hard. Like, your butt gotta work. You gotta figure this stuff out. Right? We are in a position in an information age where there's a whole lot of bad information. Right? It's like you can get whatever you need at your fingertips in terms of information. But in order to get to it, you got to sort through so many lies and misrepresentations and misunderstandings and people who think they know what they're talking about, but they don't. And that thing happens constantly. Constantly. We are in a position now, we have to go ahead and do that work and sort through it. 'Cause honestly, we can't trust nobody.
Yeah.
These people will lie to you. And they won't lie to you like on some, I'm trying to trick you. They will lie to you because they honestly don't know themselves. They think they know, and they think they're telling you the truth, and they think they're doing God's service. And really, they're killing your butt. Right? It's important for us. We gotta be, you know what I'm saying? We can't let somebody say something. I'm talking about even somebody who might disagree with me. Be like, man, y'all be listening to Philip. You know what I'm saying? Philip be saying this, that, and the other. You talking about Fillmore? The one on Instagram? No, man, don't be listening to him. If you look like, okay, explain why he lied. And they say, man, I ain't gonna explain nothing. Don't leave it at that, oh, I know you lying. That's crazy. You can't have that attitude. Like, we can't have that attitude. We can't have that attitude, I know you lying just because I asked you to complain or explain it and you don't do it. Our attitude gotta be like, well, let me search out what you're talking about. Right? Let me see if there's any room for validity in what you're talking about. Period. That has to be our mind. Everything got to be searched out. Everything else is vanity. Right? Everything else is vanity. The only thing we here for is to find out about this word. Learn about this word and obey it. Everything else is vanity. Vanity in itself ain't evil. You do it, you don't do it. Fine. Ain't evil. As long as you obey the word. Give me Ezra chapter 7. Let's try to get through something before we get up out of here. This Ezra chapter 7 verse. Where we leave off last week?
Left on chapter. We didn't go to Ezra last week.
Alright, this is Ezra chapter 7 verse 1.
He's talking about Zechariah.
That's right. Yeah, I wanted to touch on a little prophecy last week. Be quiet! Zakai, come up here and sit down. Michael, you come up here and sit down too.
Okay. I've never heard him talk. Now after these things in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of Persia, Ezra, the son of Sariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah, the son of Shallum, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub, the son of Amariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Marioth, the son of Zerahiah, the son of Uzai, the son of Buki, the son of Abishua, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the chief priest.
That's right.
I love
What's his name now? Who we talking about?
You talking about Ezra.
What's the boy name now?
That boy's a priest.
No, what's the boy name? Who we talking about?
Ezra.
You see, they ain't start talking about the boy until we got to the middle of his book.
Bro, I used to think the genealogy was so boring, but now that thing is like,
That thing cracking.
it's so great.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we have our validity.
They don't even know how Zadok like became the man. Like,
I think I'm gonna start. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start trying to trace mine back. You know what I'm saying? Only by paper though. I ain't doing none of these blood tests. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start tracing mine back, start writing it down, documenting it, and then giving it to my boy. So you keep this thing going. I don't know how much longer we got, but you know what I'm saying? We keep this thing going. You know what I'm saying?
We got
And
some
just try to
Kool-Aid
make sure it's
downstairs.
done. What do you say?
got some Kool-Aid downstairs.
That's racist.
No, I didn't mean it.
That's racist. You racist.
No, I didn't mean it that way. You know, the Coke. Why I gotta explain my joke?
That's racist. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I get it now. That was a good joke.
That wasn't a good one?
You should have kept that to yourself.
I liked it.
Only you.
I got some more.
That was racist.
You don't like Kool-Aid?
Can we keep going?
Okay,
This guy
sorry.
hates kids.
I thought we were in the tree with the birds.
Are we not? Right? So we look at it, and we look at Ezra. We know that Ezra, we didn't even see Ezra get started. We didn't even talk about Ezra the whole first part of the book, right? Whole first part of the book, we just talking about how the foundation, literally the foundation. Remember we were talking about how they laid the foundation to the temple, to the new temple. They looking like, oh no, this new temple ain't got, the old folks like, this new temple ain't got nothing on the old one, right? Then the young people was like, oh, I'm just happy to see us building something, right? So it was like a mixture of laughing and crying between all the people. So they laid these foundations, then we go on to kind of talk about how they start to build up stuff, and then we faced a little bit of adversity. Remember, the Gentiles in the area came to us, and they're looking like, can we help y'all? And what we tell them?
No.
No, you can't help us with this. We ain't just tell them, no, we said, this thing ain't got nothing to do with you. And we was right. Why would we say that to the Gentiles that came to us? Were we just being racist? Why would we say it to them? To those particular Gentiles? Why might we say this ain't got nothing to do with you?
Because they were people from other lands. They wasn't the people of Israel that got displaced. So they were put there in the place of our brothers because they disobeyed and they worshipped a bunch of other gods. They were unclean.
And the Gentiles that were put there, what was their activities?
They worshipped false gods.
Zakai, I want y'all to be quiet. Right? So they tried to worship our God, right? The wrong way, because they were taught by our people who worshiped our God the wrong way. And then on top of that, they still worship their gods. Right? So when they came to us, remember, we just got kicked out of our land for worshiping other gods. So when they came to us, we looked like, we just got back. You know what I'm saying? We was messing up when we just got back. This has nothing to do with y'all. Y'all go that away. Right? We just like, we gonna fix this up. We got it. Don't worry about it. Right? So they went out and they snitched on us. They talked to the king. Remember, it was a new king. Right? They talked to Xerxes. Right? I remember 300. Right? They talked to the big old tall lanky dude. He didn't look like that. But that's who I talked. So they talked to him. They was like, listen, them Hebrews now. You letting them build some stuff? Look through your history. They are rough people. They hard to deal with. Them boys don't like paying taxes. Matter of fact, they used to have a king. And when they, hey, you come sit over here. Come on. Okay. Not you. You stay over there. Sit down right there. Right? So he's looking like, listen, you know what I'm saying? These boys used to have a kingdom themselves. And they used to exact taxes for everybody. In other words, they used to charge everybody else taxes. But then when kings start ruling over them, they don't want to pay taxes all of a sudden. So Xerxes ain't stupid. He's like, no, I'm about this money now. So he said, shut it all down. Right? Sends us paperwork to shut it down. Then we replied to Xerxes. We were like, listen. We know what these people said to us. Right? This is what you need to do. Check more of your history. Because I know you checked your history but check more of your history. You'll see that the king before you, his name is Cyrus. And he told us to come back to this land by his decree and build the thing up. The king Xerxes checked it out, and it was true. So he's like, all right, y'all can commence. All right? So that's kind of like the ups and downs that we've been dealing with. So when we pick it up in chapter 7, it's about to introduce Ezra to us, the person who wrote this book. Right? So it's introducing him to us, and then now we're about to kind of get how he picked it up and how he took it over. The point of the genealogy that we just read is starting to give his family history. And the point of it is to end. Read the last part of it.
Aaron, the chief priest.
Remember Aaron? Who was Aaron?
Moses.
Moses, right? That was Moses' brother, right? So when Moses, you know, the what's the movie called? Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
You know, Prince of Egypt got Moses with the staff. Who really had the staff? Aaron had the staff,
that
right?
movie is very inaccurate, by the way, guys.
All the movies that got on there.
Right? That's who really had the staff. Who was doing the talking? Moses or Aaron?
Aaron.
Aaron was doing the talking, right? So it's depicted to us as even a lot of people, even in our churches and all this stuff, they believe that Moses was doing, but the book specifically said to Moses, you will be a what?
Like a god to Aaron, and Aaron to be a prophet.
He said, you going to be like a god when it come to Aaron. In other words, you going to tell Aaron what to say, and Aaron is going to be like a prophet because he going to have to say it exactly how you told him to.
So it trickled down. God told Moses, Moses told him.
Exactly. Because, and why did that happen? Y'all get extra credit if y'all get this one. Why did that happen? Shanice, you know it.
I know it.
Yep. Why did this happen? Why is it that Moses got put in that position?
Is it like to like cause y'all should? Or is it like
Are you trying to get extra credit?
not
Why don't you
extra
relax?
credit? Why don't you?
You gotta leave some extra credit for everybody else. Look, she trying to take it right to Yahushua. She trying to show Yahushua in the book. Stop preaching the word, you're a woman.
Right.
Oh my. Right. Who's on the top?
No, go ahead.
No,
All right, Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
You gotta
Like,
take
that's
it.
something
I gotta
to
take
say.
it out?
Close the book of Acts then.
Why would Moses be the one in position? Why would he have to be a god to Aaron?
What am I missing? Give me a hint. Take a hint for $200.
I don't know, I guess it's because of what everything Moses had to do, like how Moses had to leave and communicate with God so much that somebody had to be back to be in charge. So when Moses gone, Aaron was the one, all right, this is what I'm telling y'all to do when Moses is away. And when Moses get back, he tell Aaron this is what. And then Aaron's in charge, and then it just get that block and just keep going like that.
It's even deeper than that. It's because so you remember Moses took the people, right? And we all went to the mount, right? So this is after God said that you'll be a god to Aaron and Aaron to be a prophet. After that, Moses took Moses took the people to the Most High God and met him at a mountain, Horeb or Mount Sinai, right? And the Most High God spoke from that mountain. And then what happened after he got done speaking 10 commandments from that mountain?
He told Moses.
Yeah, they told Moses to stop because.
And what was God's response to that? They told Moses, they said, no, we don't need to hear from him no more. As a matter of fact, what did they say after that? We don't want to hear from him no more. What did they say next? What did they want?
They want to hear from Moses.
They said, you go up there and talk to him.
Unless we die.
Yeah.
And then you tell us what he said. Mess around, we will die if we keep hearing this stuff. Right? And what was the Most High God's response to that?
They spoke well.
He said, oh, them boys is good. He said, they said well.
So yeah, they right. I will kill them.
Right?
He said that, but he said it was right.
So that was God's mindset. Even though that happened afterwards, that's always, remember, the Most High God, the book said very clearly, he sees the
Inside.
ending from the
beginning.
right? So although that happened afterwards, that's his mindset. His mindset was, oh, I'm never gonna deal with everybody. That just don't make sense. It's just not good business. I'm never gonna deal with everybody. So he knew that they were gonna select Moses. So Moses made the Most High God made him a god first. Now where Shanice was going with the extra credit is, we know Moses is a testimony of who? Yahushua is what? Is a mediator.
Yeah.
And he was with who in the beginning?
God.
And he was who in the beginning?
God.
So now Moses would have to take on those capacities, right? Because Moses he's a testimony, right?
Because Moses said,
He's a mediator.
prophet like unto me.
Moses said himself, very good, say it again.
Moses said there's going to be a prophet like me that's going to come out of your brothers. Him you got to listen to.
So now if I'm a student of the book and I say it got to be a prophet like Moses, then we got to start hitting the checklist, right? Or we need somebody who speak to God. The book say he spoke to God how?
As a friend.
And how else? Face to face,
Like plain, yeah.
right? Spoke to God plainly, face to face. So when God speaks to us, right? And when I say us, I just mean us in general, right? But when God speaks to us, when we look in the book and God speaks to a person, how does he speak to him?
A vision or a dream.
Right? Dark sayings. It ain't clear. Like you just kind of get something. It's like God said, take these figs and hold them up to the rest of the people and then throw the figs on the ground. And the figs that hit the ground and turn purple, that is Israel. And Israel, you know what I'm saying? You kind of look at me like, I don't know what it mean, y'all, but y'all gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's kind of how you play it out. Now with Moses, he tell Moses, nah, you gotta measure this out. Nah, 6 inches across. You know what I'm saying? Now 10 cubits this way too. He like giving them measurements, like laying it out for him. Like Moses got it plain, like, oh, no, for real, that's what you did this weekend? You know what I'm saying? Like they were just talking. He got to talk to the man face to face, plainly, right? So, okay, we got that. You got to have somebody talk. So when Yahushua came on the scene, what did he do? What did he tell us?
We need more than that. He
I
did a
don't know,
whole
lot.
lot.
The man said, relate to this. The man said, at no point have y'all heard his voice. Like y'all never heard the man speak. He said, at no point have y'all heard his voice. And then every time he spoke, he said,
I get it from my father.
I got this from my father. He's trying to let you know, I've been talking to the man. I came from my father. What you mean? So these are the kind of signs we look. Moses was called a king, right? You remember when he called a king?
King and Jeshurun.
Right? So then you got Yahushua king. Right? Moses, we already said, was a mediator. Moses gave a covenant. Yahushua brings the new covenant. So all these things, you look at it and be like, a prophet like Moses. Boom. Right? But these are the types of things, like you have to, like we were talking about earlier. Paul knew these things. Nobody taught Paul the book. This is, man, that's your man, Paul. Right? Nobody taught Paul the book. Let me correct that. Nobody taught Paul the gospel. Paul was taught the Bible. He was taught the scriptures, rather, right? He was taught the Old Testament, the law and the testimonies and the prophets, right? So he was taught all that. He knew it. Dead wrong about it. Dead wrong about what it meant. But he knew the text. He knew the words. All he needed was Yahushua to pop up. Boom, opened up his eyes. Then he could start connecting all the dots that he'd been missing before. Oh, Yahushua is real. Oh, that means this verse is about this. Oh, this verse really means this. Nobody had to teach it to him. You can see the gospel in the scripture. Right? To this day, right now, we've done it before. We can open up the scripture. We can shut the whole New Testament. You know how they got them Bibles that just the New Testament? They try to make themselves feel better. They put the Psalms and the Proverbs in it. It's just New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs.
That's messed up.
Just make a darn fool out of it.
Bro, I had one too.
Yeah, you had one. That thing fit. Because it was convenient. They was the size of your wallet. You put it in your other back pocket. And then you really feel holy because look, I got a Bible on my butt at all times. You know how they used to tell you in church? Carry your sword with you now. You feel like you had it. Thing ain't no darn sword. That thing is a butter knife. You know what I'm talking about? You got that thing hanging in your darn. Can't do darn nothing with it.
The Old Testament's like way longer than the New too. That's
where it's at.
That's a lot of information.
But imagine if they made the book the other way around. The crazy part is, right? And I don't mean to sound blasphemous at all. You can get more done. Matter of fact, you can get the job done, period, if you took the New Testament away completely, right? And all you had was the Old Testament. If you had the same type of little book, but it was only the Old Testament, you can get the whole job done. As long as you know about Yahushua, right? You can't get it done without the knowledge of Yahushua. You got to know that he came and he died. And you got to know the gospel. You got to know how it started and what happened. But as long as you know that, the rest of it, you can preach it right from the Old Testament. Because it's all there. Like literally everything that happened to Yahushua, everything that was prophesied, it happened. And it came from the book.
Yeah, because the New Testament is like somewhat of an explanation of the Old.
It's just explaining it. Except for the gospel, right? So you got the gospel that gives you history and details about Yahushua. 4 gospels, and they give you all the detail. But once you get those details, then that's just proving out, okay, these are all the fulfillments of a lot of these prophecies. Then the rest of it, for the most part, acts as some more detail. But for the most part, the rest of it It's just trying to give you commentary, trying to explain. Like, yo, this is what this really meant. This is what this is, just lessons. Like, trying to make sure you get it.
Was that Isaiah? We read like 2 weeks ago. But I never noticed it until we read it. But we talked about the silver, and then in Matthew we talked about the silver like Judas.
That was in Zechariah.
Yeah, Zechariah.
Yeah. I ain't know. But then when they
So that's So the New Testament just explains the old. A lot of
actually,
it.
30 pieces of silver, like when actually explain like what that meant.
Exactly.
It came to pass. I was like,
Because it has to happen. Whatever the Old Testament said, it has to happen.
In some way, some capacity,
has to happen.
we may not notice it because the Bible is not explained, right? A lot of the Bible is just not explained. So it's a lot of stuff that I won't get, that y'all won't get. But that's why he called us to come together like this. Because it's a lot of times he's not gonna give everything to just me, right? He's not gonna give everything to just y'all or just one person or whatever. Especially now, because a lot of people are not gonna obey his word, right? So that's how people start these churches, right? He give you a little bit. And like his whole thing is, I'm gonna give you this, are you gonna be faithful with it? So he give you a little bit, and these people get puffed up, right? Because they get something real, like, yeah, I finally figured out how to understand Revelations, right? So they get this little piece of Revelations, and they feel like, son, that's right, right? Then after that, somebody disagree with them at their church. They like, oh, they disagree with me. So they started a new church. And then now they built this whole new church based off of the fact that they knew a little bit of Revelations. And they dead right about it. But then they took that without really sitting down and learning the rest of the book, took that and just started building theories. That's how these people get rapture. That's how these people get once saved, always saved. That's how these people get all these different things they get. It's because they get this concept that seems real and it seems solid. They end up splitting off in pride and doing their own thing with it. Right? And it's dangerous. All we have to do is sit down, learn the book. We ain't gotta be teachers. We ain't gotta be nothing. Just learn the book. After we learn it, be whatever we want to be. That's what I love about the Most High God. Is you obey his word, right? It's not hard either. You know what I'm saying? It's like he lined up exactly what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? We've been led to believe that everything is a sin our whole life. That's not true. It's just not. Right? He tell you very specifically, these are the sins. If you don't do these things and you love your neighbor as yourself and you love the Most High God, then you are good. Right? So if we do that, everything else is free to us. As long as it don't cause us to transgress them sins, right? Everything else, like, we read a whole book from T.D. Jakes just to figure out what job we should accept. It's like, no, accept whatever job you want to accept, as long as it don't cause you to cross over these sins. You do whatever you want to do. And it's like the confidence and freedom that comes with being obedient to the Most High God. It's just liberating. It's the best thing ever because it's like, oh, I'm not sinning. I can do whatever I want to do. What y'all talking about? Right? So that's when you see the Most High God when y'all should talk about freedom. You know what I'm saying? What do you say?
And Paul was saying, don't use your freedom as a cloak for sin.
Yeah.
Also,
That's what it is. You have freedom. You can do whatever you want. You have a lot of liberty as long as you don't cross over those sins. Right? And that goes even to courts of law. My Hebrew brothers don't like when I get to talking about this. But it even crosses the law. The law tell us, don't eat pork. Don't eat crawfish.
Stop looking at me. I don't eat crawfish. I eat crab legs. It's defiled, but
Cut that. Stop the video. Cut that. I don't need nobody. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah. Something so you know where to do it.
Good.
Cut it out.
Gracious.
crawfish look like roaches.
Good.
Crawfish is not delicious.
That don't.
Crab legs?
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
Make
Yeah.
a prime rib, bro.
They look like
Prime
spiders.
rib is good.
Go on and do it.
That's
I'll bring
good.
you crab legs.
That's amazing.
You
I'll
bring
do
the
it.
you bring the crab legs. My house.
I'm not. I'll leave them in my car and take my plate outside.
I'm gonna dip you in that deep fryer outside. Like, I don't know what happened to Shanice. No, but yeah, all those things. Like we look at it. If Shanice eats some darn crab legs, disgusting. Just absolutely nasty. Why you want to eat
never
it?
had gumbo.
Like you want, I don't know why you want to eat a grown bug and put some butter on it and call it good. That's just nasty. I'm not picking up a roach and rubbing. You never about to catch me I just snatch a roach off the wall, rub a little darn butter on it, and be like, oh, bon appetite. That thing don't make no darn sense. You just crush into it Ain't that what they do? They get that thing, they try to be fancy. You do 17 minutes worth of darn work, right? You crack that thing, you crack it. You get the little thing, because you always got to get the little knuckle busters or whatever. You go like that. Then you go like that. Then you twist it like that. Then you go like that. And you got to do it delicately. Yeah.
Or you going to be like trying to scrape all of it out.
And after you get done with this, you got about this much darn, that little white, nasty meat. You get one little thing. I just spent 17 minutes on this to get this one little thing. I dip it in a little, I got more butter on it than I got the darn meat. Then I eat it. Oh, y'all done lost y'all darn mind. I mean, let's just say it was a clean food. It ain't no way I'm working that hard to get that. You give me a nice prime rib, I just slam the whole thing in my bag. I ain't got a crack darn nothing.
With some crab leg.
That nasty. Go ahead, go wipe your nose. Put that down.
Lobsters look like roaches too.
Oh yeah.
All of them are darn
Catfish?
roaches. Catfish, no, that's nasty.
Catfish are delicious.
Catfish.
Don't get me wrong. Catfish good.
Bomb, but I ain't.
Don't get me wrong.
Let me take it back.
Catfish, it tastes good,
Delicious.
but that's unclean.
Fried,
That's nasty.
diet, lay to the side.
Lay it to the side.
Good.
But it's unclean.
Ain't too late.
Can't eat
Good
unclean.
gracious, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, man. But the moral of the story is, if you obey the Most High God, those things ain't gonna send you to hell. Right? If you obey Yahushua, even what the law commands will not send you to hell. You have to obey him. Now your butt gonna be least in the kingdom, eating crab leg. Your butt definitely ain't gonna do that when we get to the kingdom. Good gracious, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. But the man will let you in, and that's what we here for. We just here, let's learn what we need to learn to get ourselves in the door. That's it. Right? So that's why we look at Ezra, right? That's why these things are important. We look at it and sometimes it might feel boring, like we reading these genealogies and all this stuff. But this stuff all have a meaning. Like the stuff that we were talking about, it's like you don't catch that type of stuff unless you pay. Like you have to be invested in paying attention to this. By the way, we started reading the Bible in the year. I don't know if you caught on to it. We started reading. We on day 3 right now.
He ain't even tell me.
But so we started reading the Bible in the year.
And I text you, I was like, I need it.
Need what?
When you texted me with the plan, I was like, I need it.
I didn't send it to you?
Bro, I still got the old one we had somewhere like in my drawer.
I got the thing in the back right there. Yeah. But this one a little better though. I like this one. If you download the U version, everybody, if y'all download the U version Bible app, go to U version Bible app, go to reading plans at the bottom of it, and then click. You might have to search, type in 1 year chronological. Just type in 1 year chronological, hit search, and it's gonna find a 1 year chronological plan. Hit that plan, and the cool thing about this app, that's darn nasty. Go find your mama so she can help you out. That's darn nasty. But you find a 1 year chronological Bible, and then you can even listen to it, right? And the blessing, what's the blessing? Where's the blessing?
In the app, it just turns to the next like if it's to like another book or something, it'll go to it for you.
But is the blessing attached to us reading it or hearing it?
Hearing.
Book say hear. He said hear the word, right? So it's something that we gotta all get. You gotta read the book for yourself. You gotta read the Bible for yourself. Don't even do that to yourself. Just listen to it while you driving, right? Every one of us gotta drive. Even if you're riding on the bus, right? Whatever you do, when you in your commute, it's gonna take you a little while, right? Put that thing in. You hit that day's reading. It's gonna give you a little arrow at the bottom. Hit that arrow at the top. It's gonna have like a volume, like speaker looking button. Hit that speaker, press play. That thing just gonna read it to you, and it's gonna read it precise. Some days the verses that you gotta read just a few verses, ain't even the whole chapter. You just gotta read like verse 1 through 3. That thing gonna read verse 1 through 3 and go right to the next part to read. That thing's slick. I was like, this thing's impressive. You know what I'm saying? I like that thing. So I be in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I be in there sitting there struggling with the weight, like, yeah, but I'm hearing the word. You know what I'm talking about? Hear the word. I be sitting there praying, all things I can do through Christ. All things I can do through Christ. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right, though. Got that word, though. That got that, right? But no, seriously, you know what I'm saying? I think that's it's a good thing. Just a lot of times people fall off of the reading plan just because it's reading. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, that thing get tough. Just listen to it. While you doing something else, multitask. Just get it in you. Start getting it in you. You know what I'm saying? You get that word in you and keep it consistent and keep it going. gonna change you. It ain't got no choice.
Wow, the first time I read it, I listened to it, and the Old Testament was crazy. I was like, God, often things.
Yeah, but
I was like, man, that's crazy.
yeah, but
It was like mind blowing, bro. Like, no one ever told
this
me.
is him.
Yeah, it made you be like,
This is him?
That thing was serious.
This is nothing like the white guy hanging on that stick.
Mom didn't tell me this.
Go throw that away now, son.
That was crazy.
All right, let's pick up in Ezra. Let's try to read this and get up out of here. It's Ezra chapter 7. What we on? Verse 5, verse
6. We actually read this one
it's verse 6.
the week before.
Yeah,
You want to do it again?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're on verse 6.
Verse 6. Give me Numbers chapter 18. Read verse 5 for me one more time, then give me Numbers chapter 18.
The son of Abishua, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the chief priest.
The son of Aaron, the chief priest. This is Numbers chapter 18. Real quick, let's try to shoot through this.
So would you say that Aaron was the first priest or Moses? So technically Moses really wasn't. He was the one that, he was the one that put Aaron on for the priesthood. Because it didn't speak, like Paul said, Moses, it didn't say much about Moses being a priest because it came from the son of Aaron. Moses wouldn't be a son of Aaron, you know what I mean?
Moses was not a priest, but Moses did sanctify Aaron,
Right.
which is a priest function. All right, so that is another way that he is like Yahushua, where he is in a position
Right,
that
like
supersedes
Melchizedek thing, yeah.
the priest. So he is a priest outside of the order of Aaron. All right, that's why Yahushua is called the priest after the order of Melchizedek.
He was king in Jeshua.
All right. One day I got a study that we put together for that. You know what I'm saying? To kind of lay out Moses and how he tied back to Yahushua. I gotta find it one day. We'll go over it.
Moses was the man.
Moses was the man.
My man wasn't old. He was 120.
What we got is Numbers chapter 18. I'm on verse 1. Numbers chapter 18. That's Michael. Michael. You know what I mean?
Can I have that phone so I can turn it off?
My boy Michael. You know what I mean?
I'm bothering you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Man, you can tune them things out.
It's
Easy.
saying,
Yeah,
I don't know what it's saying.
I wasn't paying attention to it.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all doing. Thank you.
My wife was like, they make so much noise. I'm like, woman, I drove a bus with 100 kids on it.
Yeah.
They don't bother me.
Yeah.
That's
Gather
what
around.
I'm trying to tell people when we drove that bus, boy. All the kids jumping up and down.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You don't even hear the noise.
It's Numbers chapter 18.
Numbers chapter 8.
Verse 1.
And the Lord said unto Aaron, thou and thy sons and thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
And thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood.
Mm-hmm.
And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall keep thy charge, and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall not come near the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor you also die.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall be joined unto thee, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation for all the service of the tabernacle, and the stranger shall not come near unto you.
Mm-hmm.
And you shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel.
Okay.
And I behold, I
What verse
have
is that?
taken 6.
Mm-hmm.
I have taken your brother the Levites.
He
from
said,
among the
behold,
people
I have taken your brother, the Levites, right?
To you they are given as a gift for the Lord to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right? The Levites were given to the sons of Aaron. Right? Watch this.
Therefore you and your sons with thee shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar,
Mm-hmm.
and within the veil, and you shall serve. I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gift, and the stranger that comes nigh shall be put to death.
Right? So it's telling you, if you are not a son of Aaron, son of Aaron is a Levite. Okay? So you have Levite, which is the overall, you know what I'm
Tribe.
saying? The overall tribe, right? So you got Levi. That's the father of all this tribe, right? Whole tribe. So Levi split off, I think it's 4 different directions, right?
Levi, were you trying to get to Moses, or you saying the clans in the tribe?
The clans.
Gershom, Merari, and Kohath. It's only 3. It's only 3.
There's only 3?
Yep.
All right. Gershom, Merari, and Kohath, right? And then of Kohath, you have Aaron. Right? So this is all Levi. All of these were given to the sons of Aaron. Right? So all his brothers were given to him to serve him. Right? If you are not a son of Aaron, you can't hold the priesthood. That means you can't make sacrifices. You can't do certain services within the temple. However,
You can't hit the censers. You can't light the incense.
you can't mess with the bread. Can't touch the ark. Can't do none of that, right? But however, if you are in within these two, so like you could be within the Kohath tribe, right, or clan. But if you're not a son of Aaron, if you don't come through Aaron's stream, right, you better not touch nothing. But it's like, man, I'm from the same people with Aaron. No. But you're not a son of Aaron. Like if you can't trace your descendancy back to Aaron, right? If he ain't your great grandfather somewhere, then don't touch it. Is what the book is saying. All these people were given to him. Now they could put the temple together, or not the temple, but they could put the tabernacle together, right? They could carry some of the artifacts in there, depending on they claim. They could do all these things
that they might need. They can bring them.
Yeah, they were servants, right? They do the heavy lifting. They take stuff apart. They put it back together. They can carry it, but they can't do. If you come up to them like, yo, I need this sacrifice, and you went to somebody in Gershom, and if they did that sacrifice, they better be dead, right? You can't do it. So what this is trying to tell us is, if you're a son of Aaron, you got it. You good. You a priest. So now let's go back to Ezra. This is why this is important. This is why we're going to start back at 1. This is Ezra chapter 1. So this is why it's important, because it's reading off all of his genealogy. Now, if you just reading the genealogy, you're like, oh, okay, that's great. That's your father. That's good. Right? But it's certain things that if we know our book, we look at that and be like, oh, like it's trying to tell us something right now. So this is Ezra chapter 7. Go ahead and give me verse 1. Let's try to read through it real quick.
Now after these things, in the reign of Artaxerxes, king of Persia, Ezra the son of Sariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah, the son of Shallum, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub, the son of Amariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Merioth, the son of Zerahiah, the son of Uzai, the son of Buki, the son of Abishua, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the son of Aaron, the chief priest.
All right. So he goes back. He's the son of Aaron. Right. Keep going.
This Ezra went up from Babylon and was ready to scribe in the law of Moses, which the Lord God of Israel had given. And the king granted him all his requests according to the hand of the Lord his God upon him. And there went up some of the children of Israel and of the priests and Levites and the singers and the porters and the Nethinims unto Jerusalem in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king. And he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. For upon the first day of the 1st month began he to go up from Babylon, and on the first day of the 5th month came he to Jerusalem, according to the good hand of his God upon him. For Ezra had prepared his heart to seek the law of the Lord, and to do it, and to teach it in Israel, statutes and judgments. Now this is the copy of the letter that King Artaxerxes gave to Ezra the priest, the scribe, even the scribe of the words of the commandments of the Lord, and of his statutes to Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, unto Ezra the priest, a scribe of the law of the God of heaven, perfect peace, and at such a time. I make a decree that all day of the people of Israel and of his priests and Levites in my realm, okay, we didn't read this.
No, we didn't read this.
Right, I thought we did. Which are minded of their own free will to go up to Jerusalem, go with thee. For as much as thou art sent of the king and of his 7 counselors to inquire concerning Judah and Jerusalem according to the law of thy God, which is in thine hand, and to carry the silver and gold which the king and his counselors have freely offered unto the God of Israel, whose habitation is in Jerusalem, and all the silver and gold that thou can find in all the province of Babylon, with the freewill offering of the people, and of the priests offering willingly for the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem.
It's important that we look at how people, like whenever we're in captivity, how we end up getting back home. It's important. In every single scenario you see, you're going to see that we go with a send-off. Like we're never escaping. We never break out. You'll never see it. When Paul was in jail, did he break out of jail? What happened? Earthquake happened, right? Doors wide open. Did he leave? No, the guard was like, wasn't the guard about to kill himself? Guard about to kill himself. He looking like, oh man, earthquake happened. They probably escaped. They gonna kill me for letting these people escape. And Paul was like, hold on. We all right here. Don't do it. And then they released the man. Peter. Did Peter escape? No, Peter did escape, right?
Oh, right, he had to trick him, right? He had to do like a...
Peter, the angel came to him and was like, hey, follow me.
Yeah.
Right? Never, ever will you see a man of God or a woman of God use some type of trickery, try to break out, try to skip town, try to escape. It's never going to happen unless a position of authority tell them to do it. Right? That's why the Most High God, that's why a lot of people try to use the book to say, see, the white man wrote this book because it tell you to obey slaves. Right? Because that's how they see it. But in reality, the book does tell us to obey authority. Because the Most High, it said the Most High God puts that authority there. Right? It didn't tell us to be no slave, though. Right? Everything they said about slavery, these people did against what it said. What's one of our laws for slavery?
It said if you hit your servant or knock a tooth out or hit him to where he loses an eye or a limb or anything, you got to set him free and you got to give him, can't let him go empty-handed.
Yeah. If they wanted to leave, they can go leave and go somewhere else.
Or if they ran away.
Right. They wanted to leave. But if they escaped, if they got away, if your servant ran away, or if your slave ran away, and if my slave ran away and went to Tony's house, right? If my slave was a Hebrew, I'm a Hebrew, and Tony a Hebrew, well, it don't even matter what I am. But if Tony a Hebrew and my slave a Hebrew, the book would say you cannot put that slave out and you can't go return him to his master. So Tony can't come back to me and be like, I found your slave. He can't do that. He had to make a spot for him. He had to be like, no, don't worry about it. I got a bed for you right here. Had to. That's our law. Like, it's not even an option. Like, that's our law.
And a runaway get to choose where he wants to live.
That's right. He run away wherever he run away to. They got to make sure, like, you can sleep right over here. Don't even worry about it. You hungry? You got to make sure he all right. That's our book. So you see everything. And like T said, if they lose a limb, they used to cut the slave's legs off. They used to cut off their ankles. They try to run away, they cut your foot off at the ankle. Right? That's for trying to run away. Our law would say, if you did something like that, you had to set them free. And the book say it for his ankle's sake. It don't say ankle, but you know what I'm saying? For his tooth's sake. If you knock a tooth out for his tooth's sake. If you knock his eye out for his eye's sake. So if you do some type of permanent damage to him, then for that sake, you got to let them free. They earn their freedom. Right? Everything these people did for that thing against the book. So don't let nobody try to tell you use the book against that thing ain't got nothing to do with it. But it do tell it.
Read.
Huh?
That's why we weren't allowed to read.
Yeah, they ain't play that stuff. Some of them knew the people of the book. So they really didn't want us to read that thing. They had to drain us all our darn history. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we'd look at it. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't see. Like, they tried to teach the Native Americans the book.
Oh, they sure did.
Yeah, they tried teaching that book. Did they accept it?
Nope.
It makes sense. Why wouldn't they accept it?
That don't got nothing to
They gotta do it then.
They got their own gods. They got their own. What I'm here looking. Why would we accept it though?
Because it was familiar.
That thing makes sense. You say what you say his name was? Jesus, huh? It's somebody like that we know of. I mean, we call the man Yahushua. But I mean, it's the same type of old thing. What you call him, Moses? We call him Moshe. Same story though. You know what I'm saying? But we call the man Moshe. So we kind of look at it and be like, these stories the same. So you teach it to us, and you start whipping our butt long enough, for us, no biggie. I'll call him Jesus then. Goodness gracious. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop hitting me with that thing. I'll call him Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us, it wasn't like offensive. You teach that thing to a Native American, be like, I worship the bird in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? What is this resurrection type stuff? We don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm burning sage. Ain't that what they came that where the sage stuff burning that sage? Ain't that what they came from, the Native American? I'm sitting here burning sage. We ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no tradition of burning. You mean I can't burn sage? You're like, oh, no, that thing out there. Native Americans like, yeah, we out of here. They knew the land too. You know what I'm saying? They knew the land. They They sitting there, yeah, Jesus. Soon they go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Now they're cool. You know what I'm saying? They get in there, hop in the bush. You ain't gonna find it. You ain't gonna find no Native American. They but gonna be all through them darn bushes. They ain't gonna throw an axe at your darn head. They used to give these white folks a hard time. I'm telling you the truth. These native, everybody be talking about that Thanksgiving story. They leave, nobody tell all the stories. Native Americans giving them boys a hard time. You know how these white folks are. So the white folks, what they do? Feast, guys. Piece it up. Right? And then got they butt. Because they're looking at it, we can't face them head up. These boys, they sitting there shooting arrows at it from the bushes. We don't know where we going. I try to follow them the whole ground. They had type of stuff where the whole ground will fall in. They chasing out the whole ground falling, all of them. Native Americans just looking at them like, I got them. Who the next ones? Because them boys, they were some bad boys. And it's a lot of Native Americans that won. Like in the long run. That's why they don't tell the whole story. That's why to this day, they cut deals with these people. Because not all the Native Americans they wasn't doing this stuff out of the context. You see how they were doing us in the same time period? So you mean to tell me Americans, right? This government, at the same time that they got a whole group of people as slaves, just felt so bad that they said, you know what? You guys have your own land. You have sovereign land. You know what? You can open up casinos and keep all the profits. They just felt so guilty on this end. But they got a whole people as slaves. No. Some of these people are kicking y'all darn butt. You cut a deal. All right? Listen, you ain't got to go to war now. I tell you what, you keep that. We don't even want that land. Just let us get all this. You know what I'm saying? Some of them lost, some of them won. That's how we end up getting the land. That's part of the reason they start giving away when people immigrated here. You know what I'm saying? Like the white folk. That's part of the reason they start giving away land. It's like you can have it for free. Go out there and just fight whatever's out there. Right? Them boys were getting their butt kicked. But they ended up getting most of the land that they wanted. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how that stuff play out. We can take it. Right? We look at it. You teach us our book. You teaching us our stuff. It's like, it's us. Like, a lot of us probably didn't have no scriptures or nothing. We just had the stuff passed down to us. So you see it telling it to us. It's like, oh, that's familiar. Right? So we can kind of accept some of it. You get to whipping us on our back enough. We ain't got nowhere to run. We don't know the lay of the land. So you get to whipping us on our back enough. All right, fine. His name is Jesus. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you call it, fine. Just leave me alone. Right? Then we start actually adopting it and we start believing it. Start teaching our people the same stuff. And therefore, it's easier to like forget something. It's easier to forget something when it's so similar to what the real memory was. You know what I'm saying? So if you start teaching somebody that's very similar to the memory, you start, I mean, you can even do that like with kids or something like that. Like you'll ask them what they remember from something and then just keep telling them something that's really similar but not exactly the same. And they'll start telling it back to you exactly how you tell them because it's really similar. You tell it too wild, they'll be like, no, that's not what happened. Right? But if you keep telling them, no, it's real close, just another, they'll tell it back. And that's what's happened to us right now. That's why it stuck with us. And that's why we didn't really give these people no real problems. Because it's our history that they was teaching us. It was just different names, just a different language and all that. What else? Keep going. What we got? Where we at? We in Numbers or are we in Ezra?
We in Ezra.
Okay.
For as much as you have sent to the king and of his 7 counselors to inquire concerning Judah and Jerusalem, according to the law of your God which is in your hand, and to carry the silver and gold which the king of his counselors have freely offered unto God of Israel, whose habitation is in Jerusalem, and all the silver and gold that you can find in all the province of Babylon, with the freewill offering of the people and the priests offering willingly for the house of their God which is in Jerusalem, that you may buy speedily with this money bullocks, rams, lambs, with their meat offerings and their drink offerings, and offer them upon the altar of the house of your God, which is in Jerusalem.
What verse is that?
17. And whatsoever shall seem good to you and to your brethren to do with the rest of the silver and gold, that do after the will of your God. The vessels also that are given thee for the service of the house of thy God, those deliver before the God of Jerusalem. And whatsoever more shall be needful for the house of your God, which thou shalt have occasion to bestow it out of the king's treasure house. And I, even I, Artaxerxes the king, do make a decree to all the treasuries which are beyond the river, that whatsoever Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, shall require of you, it be done speedily. Unto 100 talents of silver, 100 measures of wheat, 100 baths of wine, 100 baths of oil.
Look how we get sent
And
off.
salt without prescribing how much.
Right? Look how we get sent off. This is a send-off. This is the King of Kings, right? So this is, man, he's running the empire. That's what it is, an empire, right? So he's running the whole empire, and he says, he writes a letter personally for Ezra and says, here, Ezra, you take this. In other words, now Ezra is in charge, all right? So you take this. That puts him in charge immediately. Then he says, and anybody, in the letter, he said, and anybody who wants to go with Ezra. So now Ezra can take any of his Hebrew friends or any Hebrew who want to go with him and take him back to the land too. Right? So we had our first rush of people that came with Cyrus, and now we have a second rush of people now coming with Ezra. Right? So, okay, now we go into this land. He say, no, not just, take this gold, take this silver, take all this food, these grains, take all this stuff, which take the sheep. So now, not only is he going back, but he's going back with wealth. Right? This is how we come out of the land. One day, we're going to come out of this land, and we're going to be taken back. But do not listen to these weirdo Hebrews that try to tell you, oh no, just buy a plane ticket and go to Africa right now. Leave Babylon. Stop listening to these people. You have to, anytime that somebody tell you something, you have to be able to find it in the book. You'll never see it. You'll never see where God told us to just escape. It doesn't make sense. God gets no glory from us escaping. We in jail and we like dig a hole under the ground and come out and we get free. There's no glory in that for God. Because you know what we are at that point? Fugitives. Right? God don't get no glory. You know what God gets glory from? God hit the jailhouse with so many plagues that the warden said, okay, God, I'm going to let your man out. Because you God and I can't do nothing with you. That's what God wants. God wants people to be like, yo, you the one. So if we go back to the beginning of this letter, go back to the very beginning of it, watch what the king said.
Artaxerxes, king of kings, unto Ezra the priest, a scribe.
What verse is that?
12.
This is verse 12. Watch this. Artaxerxes, the king of kings.
Unto Ezra the priest, a scribe of the law of the God of heaven, perfect peace in at such a time.
Ascribe to who?
The law of the God of heaven.
So you see at the very beginning, you got to acknowledge him. That's what God wants. He come off, he say, I'm the king of kings. But listen, you the God of heaven. You know what I'm talking about? I got to acknowledge you. That's what God wants. He wants the person who running the show. All right, show you got respect for me. We saw the same thing with Nebuchadnezzar, didn't we? Nebuchadnezzar was looking like, man, I'm the man out here in these streets. What y'all talking about? Book told us that Nebuchadnezzar saw himself as equal with the angels, right? He wanted to be equal with the angels. Nebuchadnezzar thought he was up there, right? All of a sudden, Most High God humbled his butt, turned him to a darn animal, had him out there eating grass with the ox. He's in there, like just lost his darn mind. Then one day, he looked up, book said he looked up into the sky, didn't he? All of a sudden, he had his understanding that came back. After that, his whole tune was different. He's like, oh, praise the Most High God. This, that, and the man acknowledged him. Because after that, that's what God wants. He's looking for, all God is looking for, free promotion. That's it. All I want the man. Like, I don't want the little, like, it's cool that y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all, like us in this room, like, it's cool that we worship God. That's cool. That's not what God looking for, though. You know what I'm saying? That's not what he's like, all right, that's cool. That's for us. You know what I'm saying? In this room, when we serve God, that's for us. That ain't for God. He don't do nothing for God. God looking like, you know what I'm saying? You know what God want? He want Trump to pop out and just be like, all right, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You the man. Right? He want the person running the show, the one that everybody be like, ooh, that's the baddest man ever. That's the one he wants to be like, all right, God got it. Right? God is the one. Right? So that's what we have to think about when these people get to telling us and giving us little instruction, and we're going to hear more of it as this year continues. We're going to have more people coming out. The Hebrew Israelite thing is going to get bigger and all that stuff. All that's going to happen because it has to happen, right? Because one, a lot of what they're saying is the truth, right? In terms of who we are and all that. So that part has to happen. All that has to get exposed. It has to grow. And it's growing and growing and growing and growing, right? But at the same time that grows, misinformation is going to grow. Like we were talking about before. It's so easy to get information that it's way more bad information than there is good information out there. So every Google search you do, you have 1,000 links that gonna take you something terrible, don't make no darn sense. It sound good, but it's not true. And there's gonna be probably one link buried somewhere that actually has the truth. And that's how everything is. So as this stuff increases, where people start spreading the truth about us being Hebrews, expect that there's gonna be a billion more lies about us being Hebrews too. Yeah, we Hebrews, but you know, I don't know what they be saying.
I don't know, bro.
They be talking about, yeah, well, Samoans is Hebrews too.
Yeah, that stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy.
They the tribe, but
Just like you know what get me? It's like they be like the Israelites. Hold on. They be like the fake Jews over in Israel right now can't live in that climate because of their skin. They have the highest rate of skin cancer. Then turn around and say that Edom is the white man when that Edom is like right there too.
they don't make no sense. That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
It's like I don't get it.
That's a good point.
It's like so all of a sudden Edom can live over there, who's white, but the white Jews can't live over there. Like that stuff be stupid.
That's a good
Like
point.
what are you talking
That's
about?
how a lie work though. You know, lie just dig a hole for you. You know what I'm saying? That's why we stick to the book, man. This thing, we'll be alright. We can walk with confidence in this thing, and it's not crazy.
It ain't crazy.
We just look at the book and it's like, that's what it say.
You know, I was wondering why when they left Egypt, why Egypt gave them all that gold before they left.
Yeah, they was getting their butt tore up with the plague.
I was thinking, I'm like, hold on.
They was like, just take it and go.
And they're like, just go. And all of a sudden, the book say he was giving them stuff. Just like, here,
Take what you need.
Take it,
You gotta-
Hurry up, get out of here.
You gotta put that thing in context.
Yeah.
The man started off light.
He killed all the firstborn kids. It's
I
like, look,
love
take it
God.
and go.
Let's say
Look how the man worked. He started off light. What did he do first?
What do you hit him with the blood in the water or something like that?
Yeah.
Then he hit him with the snake first? Was it blood first?
No, was it the snake or the blood? It was the snake.
Snake.
Yeah, they hit him with what the
Yeah,
snake
he
first?
went to the-
He hit him with the snake first, right?
Yeah.
He came with the staff. You know what I'm saying? He dropped the staff on the ground. It became a snake. That's the first one. God called that the plague. Right? Called that. He looked at Pharaoh, looked at that. He went to his magicians. The magician was able to do the same thing. They turned the little snake into, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right. Pharaoh looking like, I ain't listening to you.
We can do that.
You don't knock it off.
This is my magician did
He
that.
came back. He was like, okay. Turn some water into blood. All the water in the land turned into blood. They couldn't find it. They had to dig in the ground to get good water. You know what I'm talking about? Pharaoh did it. He's like, well, we can turn water into blood too. They couldn't stop the water that was already turned to blood and turn it back to water. But then, like, we can find some good water and turn that into blood too. Pharaoh's like, all right, we ain't got nothing to drink, but I still ain't listening to y'all, right? What was the next one? The frogs?
I think it was the frogs.
Was the frogs? So then the frogs start jumping all over the place. That was the next play. Then flies. I don't remember all the order, but then you had fly, gnats. Then you had the animals getting struck down by hail. All these different things is that. This is these people. All this stuff is happening over time. This day livelihood is going on. So imagine just being a city. You just caught in the middle of this crossfire. You know what I'm saying? You just a regular citizen. You just walking down the street. Piece of hail just smacked. Bow. You looking like, what in the world? And then you go tell your friend about it, and they like, yeah, I just saw Moses. Moses, yeah, you know, little black boy Moses used to be around here. He ran away. But he was just talking to Pharaoh, talking about he gonna make hell came, and it came. Moses made that come? Well, he said his God did it. Moses' God made the hell come right here. That thing just smacked me in my dark face. You mean the... Oh, man. And then all of a sudden, all these plagues start happening. And then the last one, right? All this whole time, Pharaoh like, okay, I'll let y'all go. Go ahead. And then the plague stopped. And then Pharaoh be like, I changed my mind. I don't want to let y'all go. So that's going on. Imagine the citizens, they hear about it. Pharaoh let them go. Okay. Whoo, the plague stopped. Right? Okay, Pharaoh let him go. Pharaoh said he was just playing. And then another plague hit him. And you just a citizen. You just caught in this thing. You have to imagine it's like Pharaoh is tripping. Stop messing with these people. Then the last plague, Most High God said, I'm going to take all they firstborn. So imagine you a mama, you a dad, and you wake up and your oldest child, right? Your oldest child, done. Just dead in his bed. Oldest boy, because it was always going to be the boy. Your oldest boy just dead in his bed. Imagine how that crushed these people. Especially when it's like, we just saw this plague happen. Moses said it was going to happen, and it happened. And Pharaoh said he was going to let him go, then he didn't. And then Moses said he going to make this plague happen, and then it happened. and the man told you that he was going to make another thing happen, and I wake up to dead kids all over my city, all over my country.
It said it was not a house in the whole nation that there was not one dead.
It's important for us to look at this stuff from everybody's point of view. Like, that had to be devastating. Like, just imagine, everybody lost their kid who had one.
Everybody in that entire...
Like, everybody's sitting there crying their eyes out because they lost their baby. Like, you know, that your grown baby because most of them probably grown because it's the firstborn. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, God bless the ones that had just little babies. Like, ugh. Like, they had to be sick. So you look at it, it's like, Pharaoh finally say, just go. Because Pharaoh lost his too. So Pharaoh's sick too. And he like, just go. He finally really let them go this time. And then they go. And when it's time for them to get out, Most High God told us, well, just ask them. Right? Just ask them for some stuff. So we went to him, we like, well, I'll tell you what, you know what I'm saying? Can I get a little, you know what I mean? What you got? You got anything that you can give me? And just imagine, you in the middle of morning, you just lost your baby. You could have to experience all these plagues. Just
not to mention like cousins, you know what I'm saying, like nieces, nephews, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just take it. Just take it. Take whatever you want. I don't care. Because imagine,
like
they mourning over their baby. They probably still over their baby right now. Just take whatever. I don't care. Just take it. I don't even care. Right now, I'm looking at my baby who's dead right now. Right? My son, he's dead right now. Just take it. So if you put it in that percent, it make perfect sense. These people are devastated right now. And they go. And Pharaoh dumb butt after you go. Because then at the same time, the next thing going to happen after you get done mourning, it comes to realization what just happened. Oh, they killed my boy. So Pharaoh, that's what Pharaoh did. Oh, no, we going after they butt. Somebody got to die for this. Because Pharaoh the man. It's hard for the man to like take one on the chin like that. So he is a man, so he is like, oh, no, we going after him. Then he came after him, and the Most High God drowned all them in the Red Sea. Right? But all of it is a setup like that. That's how God wants us to go out.
And he made Egypt cracking because in Joseph's day, Joseph had a plan to make Egypt like the richest nation in the world. And from that, they've been balling ever since. Right?
That was the whole plan.
The whole plan.
Most High God set them up just to take them down. All right?
Just like we did this country, you know what I'm saying? We built this thing for free.
Same thing gonna happen here. And it's not just gonna be here, it's gonna be all over the world. Like all the kingdoms of the world that's set up high right now, all of them, right? All of them is set up just to be taken down. Most High God just gonna take them all down. All right? But when that time comes, when it's time for us to get up out of here and all that, just don't fall under these skins. It's about to be coming. It's already come, right? We talked to that one guy with the GOCC. You know what I'm saying? You know the ones that were telling people to flee Babylon and all that. You know what I'm saying? Arya and them. You know what I'm saying? Not Arya, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the leader of their group.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, all them, you know what I'm saying? They already, like, preach some of that stuff. But it's just dangerous. It get real dangerous because I see people actually leaving. And I get concerned about that because I see, it's like you leaving, but you don't understand the captivity. The Babylon is not just America. It's the whole world. So you leaving one place to go to another. And then how does God see that? Especially when you're trying to do it in his name. And you leading people to do it. It's like, nah, you don't get no glory from that.
Too. It's like you leaving one slave master to go to the next.
Yeah.
It ain't like white people ran up in Africa and just took people without permission. You know what I'm saying?
You can't run from this curse.
Yeah.
Nah, you just gotta wait it out. You gotta obey God through it. That's it. And once the time comes, most I gotta let us out when it's time to let us out. But all that's just about serving God. It don't matter what we go through. No matter how we curse, no matter what happened. Just about serving God. That's it. Serving God. And the only way you can serve God, how you serve God.
Man, this book.
And what the book teaching us to do?
Love your neighbor.
I got that. That's it. It's simple stuff. It's simple stuff.
Love under fire.
It ain't really complex stuff that like we talking about right now. It's really simple stuff. Like take care of your people. Whole law. Like a lot of people try to make it seem like the law is all lighting candles and making sacrifices and all that. Whole law in terms of instructions and commandments is telling you like, yo, if your homeboy lose an ox, don't just let his ox go. Even if he your enemy, you bring his ox back to him. Like the whole law trying to teach us how to be a good community of people.
Right, take care of all the women. You know what I'm saying?
Take care of the women. Like what you talking about? These women, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's a woman. You got that. Like that. You gotta take care of her.
Oh, you don't want to be married? Oh, okay, that's cool. You gotta pay her father to take care of her for the rest of your life.
That's it. Right? That's it. Whole book. It teaches us how to be a good community of people, how to deal with one another and all that. That's it, and that's the only thing Yahushua came to talking about. Right? We just gotta let that thing click in our brains, and don't fall for this other crazy stuff that you be talking about. Keep going. Where we at? Let me try to wrap this up.
Whatsoever is commanded by the God of heaven, let it be diligently done for the house of God of heaven. For why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his son?
Look what the king said. He said, whatever needs to be, look what he said. He said, whatever needs to be done, let it be done how?
Diligently.
That boy said, let that thing be done right now. Because he said, he asked a question. Why should there be what?
Wrath.
King is not stupid. The king was looking like, it don't make no sense for me to end up like Pharaoh. It don't make no sense for me to end up like Nebuchadnezzar. It don't make no sense for this stuff. The king of Assyria went down. He looking like, why should it be wrath? This is a small thing for me. Y'all take your butts on. Take a little bit of my wealth with you. Y'all take your butts on. Let me write you a letter. Don't let nobody bother you. Because the king he looked at the history, he looking like, oh, no, that's stupid. That just don't make sense. Like, why would I do that? I'm doing pretty darn good right now. Why would I sit here and taunt God when I got some evidence that the man actually is the man? He's like, I let you go ahead and write this letter. Don't even worry about it. I got you. Don't even write this letter. Why should there be wrath against me? Keep going. Watch this. What verse is that?
22.
This is verse 23.
We're on 24 now.
This is verse 24. Watch this. This is
Also,
Ezra chapter 7, verse 24.
Also, we certify you that touching any of the priests and Levites, singers, porters, Nethinims, or ministers of the house of God, it shall not be lawful to impose toll, tribute, or custom upon them.
That got that. The king lacing us, y'all. They can't even charge us a toll. If I cross your darn bridge, I do it for free.
The priests and the Levites.
That's what we. Well, yeah. He specifically to the bridge. If I cross your darn bridge, I do it for free. If I'm in your section and you observe taxes, well, not me. You know what I'm saying? You better go tax him. Oh, he lacing us. Keep going. Watch it.
And you, Ezra, after the wisdom of your God that is in your hand, set magistrates and judges which may judge all the people that are beyond the river, all such as know the laws of your God, and teach them that know them not. And whosoever will not do the law of your God and the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether it be unto death or banishment or confiscation of goods or imprisonment.
All right. So the king is saying, I'll uphold the law of the Most High God. All right. If anybody don't do it, or the law of the king, well, that got that. Watch it. Keep going.
Blessed be the Lord God of our fathers, which has put such a thing as this in the king's heart, to beautify the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem. And as
What verse is that?
27. And has extended mercy unto me before the king and his counselors, and before all the king's mighty princes. And I was strengthened as the hand of the Lord my God was upon me. And I gathered together out of Israel chief men to go up with me. That's the end of the chapter.
Grab real quick Ezra chapter 4, verse 6. We're going to get up out of here. It's Ezra chapter 4, verse 6. Real quick.
And in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, wrote they unto him an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem.
Right? So, in the reign of who?
Ahasuerus.
Keep that name in mind. We're going to jump over in the book of Esther now. Not now, but next week we're going to look at the book of Esther. Because I just want y'all to get the time period correct. Right? So, we had the king Artaxerxes, and then we also had King Ahasuerus. Could be that these kings are the same people going by different names, is some theories, but whatever the case, they're in the same time period. So Esther, you'll see, is dealing with the king Ahasuerus. So you'll see that's the king that she married and all that. So most of us familiar with the story of Esther, so we'll dig into it over the next few weeks and try to get into her story and really understand it. And then from there, we'll probably jump back into Ezra and finish Ezra out, going to Nehemiah. Because these things are kind of happening at the same time. Yeah, Ezra is in the land. Esther and Mordecai, they're
Shushan.
they're in Shushan. You know what I'm saying? Which is, where was that again? I think it was like where Iran is right now.
Yeah,
like I'm not mistaken.
I think it's the Persian Empire, though.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all Iranians are, is Persians.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's where it is. I'll try to pull it up on the map and everything, and we can go over it once we get there. I'll try to maybe print something out and put something on the board. We ain't looked at a whole lot of maps, so we'll try to put something on there. All right, any questions? All right, well, let's pray out.